Have you ever heard something about estate planning and thought, that doesn't sound quite right? You're not alone. There's a lot of well-meaning advice out there, and some of it just isn't accurate. Hi, I'm Rebecca Bell from RB Legal. Today we're walking through the 5 most common myths I hear from Minnesota families regarding estate planning that you should stop believing. Let's start with the first one. Estate planning is only for the wealthy. This one keeps good people from planning for years. It isn't about how much you have. It's about protecting what you do have. If you own a home here in Minnesota, you already have an asset significant enough to require probate. And a lot of people don't realize Minnesota has its own estate tax with an exemption well below the federal one. Families sometimes find they're closer than they expected. The second myth is that a will is all you need. A will is a wonderful starting point, but it doesn't avoid probate. It's actually the document that goes through it. And in Minnesota, probate is a court process. It takes time, it has costs, and it becomes public record. You may also want a trust, a power of attorney, and a healthcare directive. Those work during your lifetime, and a will simply doesn't do that job. Myth 3 is that once you create your plan, you're finished. Life keeps moving. A marriage, a divorce, a new grandchild, a move, the loss of someone you'd named. Here's something I see a lot. Beneficiary designations that were never updated. Those pass outside your will completely, so an old designation can quietly undo everything else you've put in place. This is where planning matters. Revisit your documents every few years or after any major change. Fourth myth is that your family will just know what to do. They may have the very best intentions, but intentions aren't instructions. Without documentation, your family is left guessing during one of the hardest weeks of their lives. And that's often where disagreements begin, not because anyone is acting badly, but because two people remember a conversation differently. The important thing to understand is that a clear plan is a kindness. It lets your family grieve instead of decide. And myth number 5 is that you're too young to think about this. Estate planning isn't only about what happens after you're gone. A power of attorney and a healthcare directive protect you during your lifetime. And once your child turns 18, you no longer have automatic authority over their medical or financial matters, even if they're living at home. At RB Legal, our approach has always been listen first, solve second, care always. If any of these sounded familiar, we'd be delighted to talk through where you stand. Reach out to us at rblegalmn.com. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and drop any comments below. Thanks again.